All right. This is Christina and Judas for I'm Not Mad, I'm Just Disappointed.
Christina or Kay?
Or Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim to my Marlon Perkins.
Oh, God.
And we're just folding laundry while we talk. Now, the subject that Kay brought up that she was very involved about was the, you can go ahead and tell it, is the engagement ring.
So I'm going to get
Not mine.
No. I'm going to get set up and start multitasking because we have to. We have a huge pile of laundry. No, right now all over the internet is this, I think it's even BuzzFeed right now that's doing the whole thing about this woman who finally gets engaged and her fiance buys the ugliest engagement ring ever. And of course they don't show the picture at the very front, so you really don't know what you're getting into. And the first response from a lot of women before they read the article is that she's this materialistic lady and he deserves better. How dare she do that? Because of course a man's proposing, so you're supposed to be so eternally grateful for that.
Well, if you're a lonely cat, if you're a lonely cat owner, then yes.
Well, isn't that the ultimate goal in a woman's life, to be proposed to and get married?
Well, no, that's the derivative, sort of sarcastic viewpoint of a feminist.
Well, no, because I remember I went to Bible school, and the thing to me that everybody said to me was, so you're going to come back with your MRS degree, right? You get it? MRS.
Oh, yeah.
My Mrs. degree,
yeah.
Because of course I'm going to go to Bible school and I'm going to find a husband, and that is the goal in life.
And instead you worked at a bar and met your husband.
Yeah, yep.
You're still dealing with spirits.
So anyway, she's supposed to be grateful for getting this engagement ring. But then you go on to read the article and you find out that they had planned on getting married, and this was something that was coming up in the future, and she had said, you know what, there are certain things that I really, really want in an engagement ring, and we can pick it out together because I'm picky, or you can go through all of my jewelry to get an idea. There are options. And this man comes back with the most ugly, gaudy thing that I have ever seen, and most women have ever seen.
Right.
And then, of course, some of the women are changing their tunes about this. But this was asked in a group of mine, and our opinions of what we would do and how would we approach the situation. And I just blatantly said, I wouldn't marry him. Now, you hearing that before you heard my whole entire tirade on it.
Your diatribe on wedding
What did you think about that when I said I wouldn't marry this guy because of the ring that he had purchased?
Your reasonings behind it were beyond the material.
Yes,
however,
but at first, what were your thoughts before I got into
of the article itself? I more or less was like, you know what? It's probably something I would do because I have horrible taste, and it wouldn't be because of my lack of love. I do just genuinely have horrible taste, and I have gone to like Debbie, and I have looked at your other jewelry. Yes, but looking at your jewelry and then looking at what I think you'd like, and then having you react to it, those do not line up at all, because to me it is a rock on a piece of metal, and I've at least figured out that shiny is good.
Okay, but
that was my literal process, was like, maybe he's just really dumb at choosing
So
jewelry.
How did you feel about my first response saying I said I would not marry him because of
I just figured that was typical of you. It is.
At least he knows who he's married to.
You just wanted to marry me for my looks, and I have a face for radio, so I have no
you're a
idea
pretty
what
hot dude, man. Come on.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But my other thought, as you were telling me all of this, was what if, and I equate this to, and anyone who's talked to me about Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow knows this one, what if he just really didn't want to get married and segued it into such a way that he would just garner sympathy from other people? Look, I tried to marry this girl. She was totally materialistic and dropped me. Sob story. He comes out the winner. He doesn't have to get married. I mean, it's really brilliant.
And it could.
But this is, and that's the storyteller in me. Like,
and it totally could. But the reasoning why I had said I would divorce him.
Or not marry him.
Or, yeah, divorce him. See, that probably would have been in the future because of this simple thing. If somebody wants to marry me, and he's at that stage where he loves me so much and he doesn't think that his life, would be
he could also
any more complete.
Right.
He better damn well know what I like. And if he doesn't say, you know what, I know, like you can acknowledge that you are not good at those things.
No, I am not good at those things.
You and I had talked about what I had wanted. I picked out what I wanted. I bought what I wanted.
Right.
This woman told what she wanted, and he went the total opposite. You would have asked my mom or my sister. You would have done any of those things. He did not. And to me, that shows at some point in the future, what's going to guarantee that he's going to listen to her when something important does come up.
Right.
And, being completely blunt and honest, that is something that you and I have a problem with.
He plunked down how much?
I don't know. I don't think it says.
You spit out something $7,000.
No.
I thought I heard.
Nope. I don't know where you got that unless you're psychically connected to this man.
No.
I do not know where you got $7,000. In fact, I don't even know how much he spent on it.
That would be the other part of it. Like,
there.
if it was an ugly ring, but it was also inexpensive, that would probably play into my conspiracy on him, like, setting up this situation of oh, poor me. But the other part of it would be like, well, what do we know of this guy? Is he the type of person that's like, it's just a ring, it's the marriage that's important? Or, maybe he's real, maybe he has Asperger's. Who knows?
But then she would also know that, and knowing that she was going to marry this.
Okay, but then,
with him for this long time.
But then, would that not just be her own red flag going up? Would that not be like, her final proof that no, you're right, the relationship isn't gonna work, but not because he doesn't genuinely care, but just because they are really just incompatible. Like,
right. I mean, if he has some kind of,
and I'm not saying I'm just trying to look at other things.
If he's got my ex had OCD, really bad, like extreme OCD. We're not talking just needs numbers on evens, things like that. I remember when he told me, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out. And I don't mean to be shallow, but I just didn't know if I'd be the person who would be able to handle that. Because I do think it does take a special kind of person. Very patient person. So yeah, you have to look at the things. Right. And him and I didn't work out for numerous reasons, and that actually wasn't one of them. I decided I could, and apparently God knew I could, because he gives me the two little ones that I have that need a lot of patience. And
if you hear rustling, I'm smelling laundry and folding it.
Because we're not faking. I have not seen that shirt in ages.
Really? Because I think I've washed it like 3 times.
Man, I have not seen we're talking, I haven't worn that since I moved here.
Seriously? Because
I think I told you I've been missing a lot of laundry.
But I keep finding things in the laundry. So, often I think that what happens is I bring the laundry up, and then it gets rummaged through, and then new dirty laundry gets thrown on top of it, and it just goes back into the cycle.
And that could possibly happen. I mean, I do know when I was looking down in the basement that we have buckets of stuff that I need to go through. See, this is life, people. This is
multitasking.
This is
for any people out there. I personally find Sunlight detergent to be the best.
We're not being paid.
We're
Not yet. Hey,
we would
Sunlight.
love the monetization. That's why I'm bringing it up right now.
Sunlight, you want to sponsor us?
Borax 20 Mule, we have 4 children.
Yeah.
There are accidents. Smelly pea accidents, and borax completely, or borax, whatever you want to call it. I say borax because it's got an A.
We
But anyways,
we like Sunlight, but we also do soap nuts. We do the natural.
I'm finding with the soap nuts though, just they carry their own natural smell.
But I'm saying we're not against doing the natural way of things. I mean, they work really well. If you can handle that, do it.
I personally don't like scented stuff.
He hates it, which is why I thought we should go soap nuts. And we have the dryer balls, and they're lightly infused with essential oil. And I think that works out just fine. I mean, I come from a mother who will pour a whole bottle of Gain scent beads in the washer. I love that smell, but
so not good. I say this as a former janitor. Adding more soap makes things look clean for about 20 minutes, but then it makes things sticky and things stick to them. I'm pretty sure that's what that mildewy smell was, is that the laundry was clean, but the soap residue left on the clothes led to a mildew smell.
And I think that nowadays with the new washers that don't have that agitator in it, it takes more to clean the actual device than just running it through like you used to be able to do with just bleach and the agitator and go.
Yeah, and clean it out. Now they have special cleaners that are like caustic.
Welcome to a glimpse in our life.
We went from wedding rings to laundry stuff because that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and this is life with kids. I mean, I'm sure all of you know, sitting at home, no one likes to. Well, I actually like to do laundry. My basement gives me anxiety, and we're working on that. But my husband does all of the laundry because I can't go down in the basement. But then he brings it up to be folded, and I, like every other person on the planet, hate folding laundry. So then we come to this horrible precipice. Thank you. I'm having a hard time saying words today.
Mealing our English good.
Where you have buckets. Now I'm saying, those big blue storage.
Speaking of children, that loud yelp that you heard was our youngest. It is 9:30 at night. And
we have a screech monkey going on right now. He's hooting and hollering up there. But anyway, we have these like actual storage buckets full of clothes. And I'm trying to get through, trying to divide who doesn't fit what anymore, and seasons and donating. It's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And I am grateful that we don't have to do it alone, right?
Right.
So we decided to make a podcast and see if we end up filming anything that is podcast worthy.
Filming?
Recording. That's it. We're not filming tonight, thank God.
Although it might add texture to the whole
Y'all
podcast.
can see our terrible load of laundry.
Plus there's more in the dryer. Plus there's more in the wash because it was unbalanced. So it didn't go through its full cycle.
It's amazing, folks. He washed one of his boots today, not knowing that it was actually in blankets.
In all fairness, our son has a weighted blanket, and when I grabbed the pile of blankets, I didn't realize that I had thrown the pea blanket on my boots, and ended up washing the boot.
A combat boot, a literal combat boot. I didn't know those things were even washable.
Oh, absolutely. Because,
This, I haven't seen this shirt in ages. You bought this for me for Christmas, like years ago.
But I've explained what happened. I bring up laundry, dirty laundry gets put onto it because whatever, and then I end up washing it over and over.
I don't even think I could fit this.
I think I bring it upstairs, and then it gets rummaged through, and then I just take it back downstairs to wash again.
Now remember, if you find a 2T,
3T, yeah.
Okay, 2Ts get donated. Our baby has officially grown out of 2Ts.
Well, what about 2T shorts?
2T shorts he's cool with 2T shorts.
Okay, so got that. 4 boys, tons of hand-me-downs that we don't even need because Grandma keeps buying stuff.
But we went through a book, The Art of, what is it, tidying a room or something, some book. And
a Japanese organizer.
yes, and where do you have the 4 T's at?
For pants? I don't have 4 T's yet.
Okay. And it's all about going through all of your stuff. And we thought we're going to do this because, I mean, we are 6 people living in a 3-bedroom house, and we moved from a 4-bedroom house. So we had all of this stuff anyway. Like, we don't even have our offices set up, no room for our art or anything like that. And we have so much stuff. I mean, Judas is notorious for saying that he would like to take a match and just burn the whole damn thing.
It's very true.
But
I'd like to.
I decided, okay, we're gonna read this book. We're gonna do it. Oh my gosh,
It started off well.
it's amazing. It is, until you realize this woman has way too much of an intimate relationship with her clothes.
Well, that and the fact that she wanted to, well, throw out everything.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she does it by sections, which is great, and not going room by room, which I am really bad at. So I understood, and she's like, get all of the clothes together, you're gonna separate everything, and I did that.
Link in the description.
I totally, we'll give the link in the description. I did that with all of the clothes that I had. Now, of course, I am just now discovering items right now that I did not know that I had. And had I had those items, they would have been donated as well. But you're supposed to take all the clothing from the house, everything, every stitch of it. And you start dividing it into seasons. I mean, of course, we had to do it by sizes.
And emotional.
And then you're supposed to touch every piece of clothing and everything and thank it and decide those things that you really are going to wear, which it does really make you think. So I understood. But as the book goes on, she spends a lot of time on clothing, by the way. As the book goes on, you start to realize she may be more of a quack than you're thinking in the beginning. And she talks about, being emotionally attached to things and not wanting to throw things out. Now, there are certain things that we do kind of hold on to. We hold on to movies until we get the Blu-ray copies. And
even then.
We hold on to books. We are book readers. We would love to have a huge library of books.
We like the aesthetic of them.
We do. Her solution for books was to literally, her first solution to this was to rip out the pages that you liked in a book and keep a file of it.
Yeah.
Who in their right stinking brain would do that?
At best, what you I could streamline that even further. I could say you could get rid of the book entirely and just go on to Google and copy paste into a Word document your favorite excerpts.
I just couldn't believe it. I wanted to rip her book into shreds at that moment.
Donate the book at least, or recycle the thing in its entirety, because then you have a filing cabinet full of pages from books, and then you have to create your own cover page for that because it's just a random page from some book that you can't remember, but you liked a paragraph in.
She did state that she is not good with paperwork, which is hilarious. And then she wanted to start a file with her favorite quotes from books that she just ripped out brutally. So
again, start a Word document on your damn computer.
By the end of this book, I was going crazy. But I have tried to follow some of it. Some of it is great practice. I mean, it's brilliant to actually do a whole section of things at a time rather than room by room, because I still fall into that. I am still falling into it. I'm still looking at my bedroom saying, I really want to finish my bedroom.
Right, you go subject by subject. You go through each room and get all the books. You go through each room and get all the clothes.
But apparently the basement was left with clothes. That's my robe thingy. You bought me this robe for Valentine's or something a long time ago. But yay, I have a robe. I just ordered 2 from Torrid.
Torrid, if you're listening.
Yes, Torrid.
Product placement.
Plus size model here.
Taco Bell.
Literally.
Product placement for Taco Bell.
I will be setting up a new Instagram on that too. A whole new account.
Yes.
Under Kay Judas. And as soon as those things are up in order, we will have the links to those. But I will be doing plus size modeling.
I will not.
Some more on the sexy side of things, because what could be any sexier than a woman who's confident enough to show it, right?
Right.
No matter the size.
But I will probably be doing pee videos.
We are quite the couple here, man.
Oh, because someone didn't believe me that I could pee for 2 minutes or longer. Got me 12,000 views. Anyways.
I honestly, guys, want him to get medically checked. And you should send an email saying that you think that he should too, because no one should be peeing for 2 minutes. And this is a daily thing in our house. And I can't say you're the only one, because Lex
has got some long ones.
And so does Bronx. And I'm like, how do y'all pee like that? I mean, they have little bladders compared to even... And they just...
It's evolution.
Evolution.
So each generation has to sit in a classroom for longer and longer, so we become more successful because we don't have to take bathroom breaks.
Well, I don't like to take bathroom breaks either.
Yeah, but you have a small bladder capacity and cause yourself kidney infections.
Shush.
It's 7.
4s. 7s are Lexus.
Yeah.
Isn't this amazing, folks? Women, you can...
To those 4 people that are listening.
You can tell your husbands that this is not ladies' work. This is called being a family.
I took 3 years of home economics, and there was one other guy in that class with me, and he dropped out. And I didn't even get mad dates on it.
I actually was kind of... Okay, I love Juggling the Jenkins, the blog. I love her.
Link in the description.
I absolutely freaking love her, and I think she speaks to a lot of moms and wives out there. But she did something on one of her latest videos that I don't want to say I was offended by.
Oh.
But because it takes a lot to be offended, but for me. But she's doing this. It's actually really funny. She's doing speed dating for moms, basically learning to meet a mom friend, have a mom friend. And one of the ones that she's meeting is this, it's her, of course she does she acts as all of them. But there's this one woman, and she's like, oh, my husband does all the cleaning, the cooking, and changing the diapers and all of that stuff. And the response that she gives back to this woman is, oh, he's gay. And I'm like, no, my husband does all of those things, and he's not gay.
I'm pretty sure I'm not. I mean, Chris Evans is an attractive man.
But that only shows your masculinity, man. I asked a dude yesterday. We were asking questions, and you could use one, plead the fifth to answer a question. So I was trying to ask questions to try to get people to plead the fifth. And
so guilty by association, like, oh, they don't answer the answer to yes because they don't want to look bad. Go on.
Well, no, they're better than they're not just yes and no questions. So I actually asked a friend of mine's husband, who was his same-sex crush, and he took forever to answer. I mean, his wife's on there. I'm following because I want to know who it is.
Jesus.
And he could not give an answer. Like he said, his marriage to his...
Really, I just give an answer.
He had...
It could be anyone. I just stick to one answer.
the best wife, and everybody's like, aw. And I'm like, but come on. Guys learn that other guys are attractive. We just watched it on New Girl.
I would say I learned more watching women react to guys, but even then, you'd get like the balding 16-year-old with like the hot prom queen.
Well, Nick describes it in New Girl as
this pudgy little balding kid, and he's got a hot girlfriend, and there I am. I mean, I was creepy looking, I'm sure, but still.
But see, Nick describes it as like, oh,
New girl.
So if I want to be like this guy, I like how he looks, like I'd like to look like him or to be like him, that makes him an attractive man, because he couldn't understand finding another man attractive, or why anybody would find it.
Because that had the sexual component, and he's not sexually attracted to men.
No, and so then he's like, oh, I get it now, and he's like, oh yeah, these people, these guys are attractive. I'd love to be like this person, and that's all it is. It's not a woohoo.
No, that just sounds like male insecurity. That guy's ripped, and I would like to get the attention that females give him.
Judas would love to know like who my dream guy's body type would be, so he can try to mimic that.
Well, no, I want to be physically fit, but I also have physical goals that I have for that, but they may not match with what you find physically attractive.
Do not get one of those huge necks that are just and be able to put your arms down, dude. Be able to put your arms down. Technically,
I can't. I force them down right now, and I'm not super muscular. That's just because I have like an hourglass figure.
No, that's not the kind
of. But at basic training, nobody can see me right now, so this doesn't matter. But this got me in trouble. I'd have to do this to force my hands.
That's not what I'm talking about.
But if I can't actually put my arms down, I have to force them at my sides.
Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about, man.
You're talking about the guy that has his arms at a 45-degree angle.
I have a friend who was that way, and no, I can't handle it, man. You need to be able to put your arms down.
See, and the physical requirements that I've always found necessary are back muscles, shoulder muscles, as well as my quads, etc. Because I have thicker legs, but the strength for me has always come from those areas. Now, you put that all together, and it kind of looks Gorfy looking. The overemphasized muscles in those areas. Those are my muscle requirement areas. Whether or not you find that attractive is another thing entirely. Especially when I was at you semi-met me at after my peak.
After?
No, you did not see me act.
Well, you sure looked very good when I met you. You still look very good. Crazy
I got
man.
A dad bod right now. It's true.
I have been pregnant 10 times. I am no longer in my prime. And you didn't even know me in my prime. You would have loved it because I was running all the time. Yeah. That is his goal. He would love for us to go running together. I don't do that run. That depressed me from last week. I discovered recently, and I thought this was just normal because I never really looked at stats. I don't pay attention to sports. I just like to do sports. I don't follow stats. Apparently, doing a 3-minute mile is a really good thing. I thought that was just what you should strive for, and that was normal if you were at your peak physical. Like, anyone could reach that if they just worked out. If anyone
enough.
would have been in this room when I told him about being in elementary school and the fastest kid in my elementary school doing a little less than a 6-minute mile, and that was like super awesome, and he's looking at me like, no, that is not even close. It's more like a 3-minute mile. I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, you need to Google and see what the
Now, in high school,
average.
I was definitely not the fastest. We're talking about, I was at 25, 26, and I would run from work to where I lived, and cycling took 20 minutes, according to Google Maps. But it turns out I was doing 3-minute miles, getting from work to home.
But his face when he realized that after I told him to Google what the average 10-year-old runs a mile in.
I didn't. I found the results for the average adult, and it's
he
definitely...
He then realized, size 8, that he was shooting way off base and had a very unrealistic idea of what he should be at now.
And sadly, I have nothing to verify that. I could be lying through my teeth, but I think my reaction kind of proved that I wasn't.
He was heartbroken, people.
I literally did not realized that I had been running that fast. Oh, finally the top. I just washed the bottom. We'll find them eventually. I hate matching pajamas, people. That's why I like footy pajamas. Footy pajamas are amazing because you don't have to find tops and bottoms.
But our oldest is getting too tall. Our second is getting too tall for them.
Lanky children. So yeah, we've run the gamut of conversations from engagement rings.
Well, I think you'll be able to edit this and.
Oh no!
No, and get maybe a couple episodes, maybe a couple 15-minute episodes of this.
Like break it into 3, but have these super long for those car rides.
Yeah. Does anybody else listen to podcasts while they're driving road trips? Because
And I'll be sure to add laugh tracks.
Oh my God, please don't. I have told him I would not work on this thing if it was corny. I live with enough corniness in my life, man.
Yeah, with Hudson cracking out with the dad jokes today.
He's gonna be 8.
Yes.
He's
7. He's gonna
7.
be 8.
He's cracking out dad jokes, and I only can blame Judas. That's just it.
I don't even. What was Lex even? What was Bronx even saying?
I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, thirsty.
Nice to meet you, thirsty. Yeah.
I told him he was too young to be making that joke.
Dryer lint, man. Dryer lint.
Do you know how much dryer lint we produce?
I know.
A lot. And it's only good for kindling, and we don't have a fireplace.
And God knows we do not want to start a fire in this house again. We didn't start the fire.
It was burning since the world was turning.
You went right into that. That was amazing.
Backstory on that one was our ceiling fan in the bathroom had kind of stopped working for a day, and was like, oh, okay. And then one of us, probably myself, turned it on, and it started going. And I was like, oh, okay, everything's fine. And then the whole bathroom caught fire, and our 3-year-old saved us.
Yes, he did. I was actually in the hospital with our second oldest one getting tonsils out, and I don't know if anybody else receives messages like this.
This is a consistent one.
Yes. Okay. Everyone's okay, but blah, blah, blah.
I preface this with saying...
I can't handle those. The principal just did that the other day. Called and said, oh, everything's okay. I just need it. And I'm like...
Yeah, people see the call display from the school during school hours, and they already start to panic. Normal people see that, and they're like, uh-oh, the school is calling. What went wrong?
And see, I'm thinking, okay, I have a kid sick. I don't think anything really went wrong. I just think, oh, another one is sick. That's all I think. But...
Yeah, so, if you send off a message to someone like, hey, the bathroom caught fire, wouldn't you want to preface that with, all right, before I tell you anything, everybody's fine. No, that just is the worst.
I don't know how I would want that. I don't know how I would want you to deliver that message to me.
I was almost ready and willing to wait until you came home and be like, oh, by the way, our bathroom's going to be completely redone. And you'd be like,
yeah, there was a big old hole in our ceiling, like a taped off and everything, but I was like, taking a shower in there and a bath. I was trying to avoid it at all costs. Everybody's like, man, I wouldn't do it. I'm like, I gotta take a bath or a shower at some point.
Now what happens, so the ceiling fan caught fire, melted onto the toilet, smoke everywhere. My 3-year-old, I had started to smell something, and I'd start where I usually start. I'd start with the basement, and I work my way up. So I had finished sniffing the basement. I'd come upstairs, and Bronx, our 3-year-old, Dad, there's smoke in the bathroom. And I ran up, and I look, and there's smoke coming out of the door. So I went to all my firefighter training and got the baking soda, as well as water, and cut power to the room while simultaneously getting the kids out of the house and throwing them at the neighbors, who had just finished getting into an argument. So they had to deal with the emotional overflow of their fight and our children while there's fire trucks in the driveway.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm grateful because it could have happened at any time.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it could have been burning on and off for a while.
2 or 3 days.
We could have easily been caught in a very, very dangerous situation.
But we weren't.
No, I'm grateful. But know that ceiling fans in your bathroom can catch fire.
And that one was like from the 80s.
Yeah, it was old.
So, yeah. I don't know. Want to throw on some Troll Hunters or something?
By the way, awesome show for
Yes.
adults as well as kids.
Yes. The
Tear jerkers.
The character arcs are amazing. The storyline is so impressive. There's cost, and knowing that it's produced by Guillermo del Toro, you don't know if the heroes are going to make it
No.
at certain points.
Trying to describe that to Hudson, and I'm like, that baby is still awake.
He is.
Trying to describe to him, that, first of all, who Guillermo del Toro is.
Director of Hellboy.
They've watched Hellboy. We're that family, but Hellboy is something that united Judas and I from the beginning of our relationship.
I can promise you two things. I'll always look this good, and I'll never give up on you.
So freaking hot. Seriously, the hottest thing a guy could tell a girl. Oh my gosh. But we're trying to describe to him that nothing is really sacred for him, and that
Or safe.
they could easily kill off a main character. And we're at the end of the third season, the last episode, and all of us are just like glued to the TV, not knowing what was going to happen.
Like full-grown adults and children glued, finding out is
The main character going to die? Or
is the friend gonna die? Are the bad guys going to win? Like
Yeah.
you legitimately didn't know if the bad guy was gonna win or baddie. It was,
So then we watched it and we were like, oh my God, is there going to be another season? And so we had Judas go through and find all the research out that they're not going to have any more seasons for this particular chapter. This is a little book of itself, and then they're going to have 2 more semi-little books.
So it all takes place in the area of Arcadia. So the Troll Hunter storyline is done, and now they're doing aliens, and then after that they're doing wizards, all taking place in Arcadia, and whether or not it's happening at the same time or before or after.
I don't know, I'm kind of excited.
Which would be interesting if
I
they tried to do
literally
it at
got
the same time.
goosebumps. I got goosebumps when he was explaining to me what was going on. So we have decided we're going to rewatch all of them, which is something that we do in our household. We rewatch certain shows over and over and over again. I am on my 17th round of The Office.
I've seen every episode, just not in order.
New Girl. We've done Community. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Firefly? No, not
We
even
haven't,
Firefly.
though. We should. I
Yeah.
really want to do Battlestar Galactica again.
Mainly, we like series that do have ends or summations.
Yeah, and I like to watch things that I can just kind of put on, and I don't have to sit and watch and do other things just for the noise, just for the laughs.
And Toby is the Scranton Strangler. All right, I think we have enough for this part here.
But yet our laundry is not awful.
No, but we're at 38 minutes, coming up 40 minutes, so that's one giant podcast or several smaller ones.
I think you should break it up into smaller ones when it's like this.
Well, put out 3 and then have the Uber podcast.
That connects all of them.
We'll call it the Beaner podcast.
And of course, as soon as we do have an...
I'm going to edit that part out.
Did you just call a beaner podcast?
I was thinking of pods and beans and bean pods because it would be a big one. And then I just said what I was thinking, and it came off incredibly racist.
I'm half
But
Mexican, people,
The caveat in there is that, yes, you're part Mexican.
I'm not taking too much of a huge offense. Please don't, all of the other Mexican people. He did not mean to.
I literally did not realize what I was saying until after I said it, where it was like, blah, 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 blah. Several connotations.
Now, we do have a new email address that Judas has created.
That's too long.
It is very long. But apparently it's good for just you being able to memorize it. So if you're driving right now or whatever.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed at gmail.com.
There you go. It's literally the title of our
podcast.
And you can send us in questions, or you can send us in video questions, and we will put you on the podcast.
And if you're an advertiser and you'd like to advertise with us, you can also contact us through said email.
Yeah, we have 6 kids.
So we go through clothing and detergent and food. Definitely if you want a critique of food.
Cleaning supplies. Whatever. We are not...
We're not picky.
No.
Well, as long as it's not like, we encourage slave labor to make our products cheap. We will have a certain amount of ethics. And there's our...
And if anybody has any tips of how to get a freaking 2-year-old to sleep...
I think you just have to cancel the naps. He sleeps through the night if we don't give him a nap.
Send them my way, please. I don't know what I'm going to do with that kid.
Brandy. Scotch. Vodka.
Wasting it on a 2-year-old.
No, I'm saying for us. If you're passed out drunk, who cares what they're doing? Thanks, folks. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. This episode was brought to you by True Monsters by Judas Ex Machina, available on Amazon and at your local library. Look it up by name. True Monsters by Judas Ex Machina.